Hi Nikunj, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All good, man. I'm very excited to talk to you because you just generated a revenue of 100 crore rupees in 6 months. And you are the new star in town. And everybody that I speak to, they say SuperYou ka branding na bro. That is insane. The way SuperYou did it, it is insane. So everywhere I'm hearing about SuperYou. And then I tasted your cold coffee protein shake. And it tastes more like cold coffee than protein shake.
Yeah.
So I decided to have you on the podcast because this is a space that is hyper competitive. A lot of people are trying to crack this. India is a protein deficient country, that is fine, but we also understand that protein is expensive. It costs you 3 rupees per gram on an average.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
And it's only meant for the top of the pyramid. And at the top, you've got so many brands like Whole Truth, like SuperYou, like Beast Life, like On. So I want to understand, how did you enter this hyper competitive space, generate 100 crore rupees in revenue in 6 months, and what exactly is your business strategy that enabled you to do it? So that tomorrow if there's somebody who wants to start a brand in the same category, they should have the knowledge of first principles so that they can take their brand to the market with the least amount of mistakes,
Yeah.
if not no mistakes.
Yeah.
So tell me,
So-
why did you decide to enter this hyper competitive space?
Yeah. Cool. One quick clarification. You said, Nikunj, you are a star. I'm not the star. SuperYou is the star. I love being behind this, just building the brand. So I'll tell you why I got into it. And then I'll tell you why I think we've been able to make some sort of awareness and presence in a hyper competitive space. Why I got into it, so past has been working in the FMCG ecosystem for the last 10 years. So part of Future Group. Future Group had a company called Future Consumer, which was the FMCG arm. And there since then, the logic was always, how do you create new age consumer brands and products? Because India is evolving, India is changing, taste preferences are changing. And I'm actually okay with this. I have no issues.
Bro, strangely, I think he likes you a little too much.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Protein bars and everything with them.
That's why everyone likes me now.
ठीक है. Let's continue.
Yeah, no, so so like I said, right, the idea at Future Consumer was that we wanted to build new age brands and new age products. Why was that the case? Because we had modern trade stores where consumers would come with the expectation of seeing something new and experiencing something new. If you went to a Kirana store, you knew what you wanted. You would just go and say, listen, give me X, Y, Z, right? But in this store, you came with your family, you wanted to spend some time, so on and so forth. And we realized that legacy companies, FMCG companies, are very slow at creating many new products because for them, they have to service an entire large ecosystem versus for us, it was a specific cohort of consumers that we were talking to, right? And that kind of gave that thinking that, okay, India is evolving, preferences are evolving. How do you keep creating products for them? So that was the root of all of this. Back then, I was lucky that I got to work in the food category and we got to work across all categories. So I worked across everything from biscuits, namkeens, sweets, chocolates, noodles. There was nothing that we left out, like tea, coffee, juices, everything. And the reason why I consider that lucky is because I got so much exposure to the entire food FMCG ecosystem. We were also very lucky because we got to work with some of the best guys in the business. So for example, we worked with Bikaji and Bikano for namkeens. So they were our manufacturing partners. We worked with Pladis, which the brand they run is McVitie's biscuits. They helped us make biscuits. We worked with Cremica for biscuits. So I got a lot of exposure to how these big FMCG companies are operating, everything about the ecosystem, right? And then fell in love with it, obviously. And that's the only thing I truly understand, right? So I always knew, even post-COVID, that I wanted to continue building something in the food FMCG space because that's what I had the most amount of exposure to and learnings with. I know you asked me before the podcast, but I care deeply about health and fitness. Used to do long distance running, always football's first love, and always been very active. So I've always had this kida ki somewhere or the other, I'll find a way to mix those two worlds, to combine those two worlds. And then this idea came to me saying, again, the next shift now post-COVID for consumers, there was a large attention on health. And within health, there was this whole thing that I believed would get built of better for you, right? And I realized that that's a very, very interesting space with the right time. So that was the rough idea that I had when I started putting it down on paper. Wasn't as concrete as what SuperYou looks like today, but we figured there, and then we really got started working on brand. What should it be? What should our unique narrative be? How will we differentiate? We asked ourselves these tough questions as well. And within that, we realized that, in the better for you spectrum, you can get more specific. So owning protein as a narrative. And by the way, this thinking started much before protein became the buzzword. So we just realized that, okay, this might be interesting. And the thinking there also was about balance. So who said that all our snacks today should be over-indexed on carbs and fats? Nobody set those rules, right? So my thinking was, we're not like trying to force you to consume protein. We're just saying that if your snacks were a little bit more balanced, it's just better, right? So we're not against carbs, we're not against fats. We're just saying there should be carbs, fats, and some protein. So our products aren't designed to be only protein. And neither is our narrative as a brand, right? So that was where the idea kind of fell in. And obviously there's a parallel stream to all of this, which is my conversations with Ranveer and how Ranveer became a part of all of this. Which I'm happy to share with you in detail. But that's how I got to this stage of kind of building out this brand.
Understood. Hi guys, if you loved watching this clip and if you want to do a deep dive into the podcast, we've mentioned the link in the description. So click that link, watch that podcast and take notes. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more clips.